What if you discovered that hackers and billionaires share the same mental blueprint? Ever wonder why some hackers can breach billion-dollar systems while most people can barely remember their own password? And why certain billionaires build empires while others, with the same opportunities, stay stuck? The answer goes way beyond talent or luck. There's a pattern, an invisible code connecting these seemingly opposite minds. And today, you're gonna uncover that secret with me. Let's start with something disturbing. Back in 2016, a hacker group infiltrated Bangladesh's banking system and almost stole $1 billion. Almost. They failed not because they lacked technical skills, but because of a typo, a simple human error. But what's really striking isn't the mistake. It's the mindset behind the operation. These hackers thought like startup CEOs. They identified a vulnerability in the SWIFT system, mapped every weak point, tested hypotheses, and executed with surgical precision. They weren't common criminals. They were high-performance strategists disguised as criminals. Now, think about George Soros. In 1992, he bet against the British pound and made over $1 billion in a single day. How? He spotted a vulnerability in the UK's monetary system that nobody else saw. Soros didn't break into vaults, but he broke into market logic. He hacked the financial system using information, timing, and guts. The difference between Soros and those Bangladesh hackers? Just legality. The mindset is identical. And here's the crucial point. Both hackers and dangerous billionaires share a skill most people ignore. They see systems. While you see a bank, they see codes, protocols, vulnerabilities. While you see a market, they see patterns, cycles, hidden opportunities. They don't play the game like everyone else. They rewrite the rules. But there's something even deeper happening here. This mindset didn't start with the internet or modern capitalism. It goes way back. In the Middle Ages, alchemists spent decades trying to turn lead into gold. They failed, obviously. But what they were really doing was hacking nature. They tested, experimented, failed, and started over. They were obsessed with discovering matter's secret code. And guess who inherited that mindset? Today's hackers and the billionaires revolutionizing entire industries. The truth is, high performance isn't about working harder. It's about seeing what others don't see. It's about having the courage to question the system, find the gap, and exploit it ruthlessly. And now, with artificial intelligence, this game has completely changed. Because AI isn't just a tool, it's a mindset amplifier. It takes this pattern recognition ability and multiplies it by 1,000. If you want to understand how this mindset works in practice, drop a comment with the word system. Let's dig into this together. Why artificial intelligence is the new battlefield between hackers and billionaires. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Artificial intelligence won't democratize power. It'll concentrate it in the hands of those who know how to use it as a strategic weapon. And both hackers and billionaires already figured this out. While most people are still debating whether AI will steal jobs, these two groups are already using AI to hack entire realities. Let me show you how this works. In 2023, hackers used generative AI to create phishing emails so personalized and convincing that even Fortune 500 executives fell for them. They trained language models with victims' public data, social media, interviews, articles. The AI analyzed communication patterns, tone of voice, sending schedules. The result? Messages indistinguishable from legitimate communications. Success rate? Terrifying. They weren't just stealing passwords. They were stealing trust, the 21st century's most valuable asset. Now, look at the other side of the coin. Larry Ellison, Oracle's founder, is using AI to monitor employees in real time. I'm not talking about cameras. I'm talking about algorithms analyzing productivity, behavior, even microfacial expressions in virtual meetings. He calls it data-driven management. Hackers would call it mass surveillance. But the mindset? Exactly the same. Collect data, identify patterns, exploit human vulnerabilities. And here's what nobody tells you. AI isn't neutral. It amplifies who you are. If you've got a victim mentality, AI will give you better excuses. If you've got a hunter mentality, AI will give you more powerful weapons. Peter Thiel, PayPal's co-founder, said something brilliant. Competition is for losers. What did he mean? That real billionaires don't compete. They create monopolies. And AI is the perfect tool for that. It lets you map markets, predict behaviors, eliminate competitors before they even realize they're being eliminated. But there's a dark side to all this. In 2024, a hacker group created an AI that could predict code vulnerabilities before developers even fixed them. They called it predictive hacking. The AI analyzed millions of lines of open source code, identified common error patterns, and predicted where the next flaws would appear. Result? They had access to zero-day vulnerabilities before any security company. This isn't technology. This is asymmetric warfare. And the billionaires? They're doing exactly the same thing, just in the business world. Companies like BlackRock use AI to predict market movements, manipulate perceptions, and direct trillions of dollars with millimetric precision. It's not insider trading. It's something way more sophisticated. It's hacking collective psychology. The question you need to ask isn't, how do I protect myself from AI? It's, how do I use AI to rewrite my own rules? If this part opened your mind, hit that like button right now and comment prediction. How the hacker mindset became the new philosophy of high performance. There's a reason why the world's biggest companies today were founded by people with a hacker mindset. And I'm not just talking about tech. I'm talking about a way of seeing the world that challenges conventions, breaks patterns, and rebuilds systems from scratch. This mindset has roots way older than you think. Let's go back in time. 15th century. Johannes Gutenberg didn't invent the printing press just because he was smart. He had a hacker mindset. He looked at the manuscript copying system, saw it was inefficient, expensive, and slow, and asked, what if I could hack this? He took wine press technology, combined it with movable metal type, and created a revolution. He didn't improve the system. He destroyed it and built a new one. That's what hackers do. That's what billionaires do. Now, fast forward to the 1970s. There's a group of enthusiasts in California meeting at the Homebrew Computer Club. They weren't corporate programmers. They were hackers. They took giant corporate computers, studied how they worked, and thought, what if we put this in everyone's hands? Two of those guys were Steve Wozniak and another one, I won't mention because he's on the forbidden list. But the point is, they hacked the entire computer industry. And here's the connection to high performance. Hackers don't follow manuals. They create their own. They test limits. They ask uncomfortable questions. They don't accept, can't be done, as an answer. And you know who else acts like this? Every billionaire who built something from scratch. Because building real wealth isn't about following formulas. It's about breaking formulas. But there's something even deeper here. The hacker mindset is, at its core, a modern Stoic philosophy. Roman Stoics believed in controlling what's within your reach and ignoring the rest. Hackers do exactly that. They identify what they can control in the system, and the rest. Noise. Billionaires like Carl Icahn apply this in hostile takeovers. They analyze a company, identify what they control, what they can influence, and what's irrelevant. Then they attack. And artificial intelligence has amplified this insanely. Now, anyone with access to AI tools can think like a hacker, can analyze markets, test hypotheses, automate processes. The barrier to entry for high-performance mindset has dropped dramatically, but most people are still using AI to do bureaucratic tasks. Meanwhile, hackers and billionaires are using AI to rewrite industries. The big question isn't whether you'll use AI, it's whether you'll use it as a tool or as a strategic weapon. Because the difference between these two approaches is the difference between surviving and dominating. Subscribe to the channel right now and comment. Hacker, let's discover the mental maps of success together. What if you could apply this mindset to your life today? Here's the brutal truth. You don't need to be a computer hacker or a billionaire to think like them. You just need to understand the principles. And these principles are universal. They've been used by military strategists, inventors, revolutionaries. And now, with artificial intelligence, you have access to the same arsenal they do. First principle, see systems, not isolated problems. When something goes wrong in your life, most people blame circumstances. Hackers and billionaires see patterns. They ask, what's the system behind this? For example, if you're stuck financially, the problem isn't lack of money. It's the system of beliefs, habits, and decisions that got you here. Hack that system. Use AI to map your spending, identify patterns, predict future behaviors. Treat your life like code that can be rewritten. Second principle, test everything. Hackers live by trial and error. They don't wait for permission. They test, fail, adjust, and test again. Billionaires do the same with businesses. They launch products, test markets, pivot fast. And you? How many hypotheses have you tested in your career this year? How many ideas have you executed? Artificial intelligence can accelerate this process. You can use AI to simulate scenarios, predict outcomes, eliminate unnecessary risks, but only if you've got the guts to test. Third principle, exploit ethical vulnerabilities. Attention, not talking about illegality. I'm talking about finding gaps in the system that nobody's exploiting. For example, while everyone's competing in saturated markets, where's the gap? Unexplored niches, problems nobody wants to solve, needs that haven't been articulated yet. AI can help you identify these opportunities by analyzing tons of data your brain alone could never process. Fourth principle, think in layers. Hackers don't attack directly. They map security layers and find the weakest link. Billionaires don't build businesses randomly. They build ecosystems. You need to think the same way. What's the weakest link in your career? In your health? In your relationships? Attack that first. Use AI to monitor progress, adjust strategies in real time. And here's the most important thing. Discipline is the new code. Without consistent execution, the world's best strategy is useless. Hackers dedicate years studying systems. Billionaires dedicate decades building empires. High performance isn't a sprint. It's a marathon with strategic sprints. And AI? It's your training partner. It reminds you. It holds you accountable. It adjusts you. The final question I leave you with, are you gonna keep playing the old game, or are you gonna rewrite the rules? Share this video with someone who needs this mindset and comment, rewrite.